So today we're going to be turning this into this. Welcome back to Just Railroading. Alright, so here we go ahead and do a restoration on one of these tank cars. These are the ones I got from the Cabin Fever auction website. As you can see, they're a little rough. Decals are gone. They're yellowed really bad. So, I got some new decals. Here we go on ahead and restore one of these. I'm actually going to go ahead and do both of them. I've got one more, but this is the only one I'm going to show on camera. So, the way these come apart is pretty simple. You got a standard screw down here. Just take it out. Like that. And then set him to the side. There's the frame. Die-cast frame. Pretty heavy frame. And then you got your two ladders. These are actually in pretty good shape. Some of the ones I had were really rusty. These don't look half bad. That's good. Then here's the tank itself. And the little dome piece. That's made out of plastic, by the way, if you didn't know. We'll go ahead and take these trucks off. They're just held on by those horseshoe clips. These are a little hard to get to. Those are in this recessed hole. Okay. I really do like these earlier cars like this. They're real well built. And Lionel did make another version of this car in the pre-war style. Pre-war trucks. And it was basically exactly like this, except it was a Shell brand and this was black. The actual tank itself was black. And it had Shell decals on it, and it would have had the last pre-war type truck they made with the die-cast coupler notch thing that they like to do. I will be painting this. Now what I did on the last one I painted, I just painted over everything. I painted over all of this. So I'm probably just going to clean it in the sink. I'll probably lay a little piece of tape to save that number. And we'll just hit it with some paint. I painted everything. I didn't even take these off. I just painted it all. You don't really see it. It don't stick out too bad. It is a blued part. These are blued. I think that is too. But I just painted it all. I don't think it really matters. And the way I get these off, you got to be real careful because you can't really get in there to unbend those little cotter pins. So what I do, again, you got to be real careful. Let's take this. Let's give it a little bit of an up pressure, like that. And I go along and I do that to all of them. Give them a little bit of an up pressure, like that. See, I bent that in a little bit, but it'll be okay. I'm gonna try to be more delicate. I got a couple of these extra. I didn't bend it too bad. I can straighten that back out. It's hard to get these off without bending it, just because of the way they're made. Okay. Last one. Yeah, I bent it. Give it a little kink. That's okay. Yeah, we can work on it later. It's fine. I think there was a fourth one. I don't know where he went. There. Okay, let's go ahead and get this side off. I'm going to try to be more careful. Take it slower. There we go. Alright, there's everything disassembled. But before I strip these, I'm going to show you one more thing. This is the one that I got the decals actual for, these decals. I got these. I don't have these, unfortunately. I couldn't really find them anywhere like these, but I found ones like this. So, for anybody that's at home right now that wants a reference to where these decals should go, basically I'm sighting from this hole to this hole. You want the top of this decal to be right under these two holes, and you want it to be between these two rivets. This side's a little bit better, so you can kind of get more of an idea. You want the corner of it to be right there. This is the one I went off of to do the first one I did. I went off this car right here. And if you can see the capacity gallons decal, you want it to be right above these two holes on this side. Just put it right up above the holes. That's what I did on that last one. That come out pretty good. And if you get them a little crooked, do you see how crooked that is? I mean, it's not even straight. They got them crooked at the factory. It's not a big deal. If yours is just a little off, ain't nobody gonna even pay it no attention, because these were originally just crooked. So I'm gonna get these two an ultrasonic cleaner, get the paint off of them, get the decals off of them, and I'll be back when we got these clean and ready to go. Alright, well, here's the tanks out of the ultrasonic cleaner. Got the paint off. I run them twice, run them 2 30-minute cycles. Clean them right up. That's just simple green and water. Got that paint off. If you don't have an ultrasonic cleaner, you could probably use paint stripper. This paint is so thin that it would probably just come right off. So I'm about to run these in the ultrasonic cleaner. And the reason I do that is because you see that black looking stuff right there? That'll be real hard to get off manually. Another reason I run them in there is there's old grease and lubricants and things like that in here. And you could put oil back and it'd work a while. But I found if you oil these up and then set them on a shelf and don't touch them, and then you go to get the car back down later, it's just like it was. My theory on that is either my oil ain't no count, which is possible because it is 3-in-1 oil, or the stuff in here, it reanimates it. Whenever you put fresh oil, it soaks that fresh oil up, and it'll be, you know, it'll be a little lubricated for a while, but then it absorbs it all up, and then that stuff becomes clumpy, kind of like wax, and slows it right back down. So I'm going to go ahead and put all these in here, and if you're wondering, does it affect this? It doesn't. That fiber resin board doesn't even affect it. I've already cleaned a few right here. I've run all those in there. It didn't even phase them. So I'm going to get all these in there, let them run. So there they are in the solution. Like I said, I'm going to let them soak and let that temperature rise. Well, here the trucks are after I run them through the ultrasonic cleaner. Then I took them in the house and washed the stuff off. And then I just took a heat gun and just dried the water up so they wouldn't flash rust. Alright, so now that it's had a little while for the water to dry, we're ready to start putting some primer on it. So I'm going to go ahead and run a wire brush over this just to get that little bit of rust that has formed off and kind of scar the surface up. I wouldn't use sandpaper on this because of these little rivet details. You'll take the tops of them off, they won't be as visible. So just keep that in mind. You got to mind the details. So I'm going to go ahead and scratch this up real quick and we'll lay some primer on it. Alright, well here it is with the primer on it drying. I want to talk about the paint, how I do the paint. See how shiny and chromy that is? It's basically chrome paint. And then I put clear coat on it. And then it dulls it down like this. You can kind of see how similar these are. I mean, that's a little brighter, a little bit more chromy. But here's the original top tank. I mean, that's almost a dead match. So basically I put that chrome paint on there. I let the chrome paint dry almost, and then I clear coat it. And I did that last time, but what I'm going to do this time, I'm going to put the chrome paint on there, let it dry, put the clear coat on it, let that dry, put another coat of clear coat on it, put the decal, then put another coat of clear to seal, just to seal the decals. What I think happened the last time, I put the silver on while it was still kind of curing, and then I clear coated the silver while it was still curing, and then I didn't clear coat it again. I just left it like that. So my theory is the silver and the clear coat mixed on the surface, and then when I put that other coat of clear, it was able to reanimate some of the silver metallic that had come to the surface, and then it made an edge around that one decal. That's my theory. I don't know if that's what happened or not. So I think if I let the silver dry and then put the clear coat and then let it dry and then put another coat of clear, I don't think we'll have that issue. So I'm going to give it a try. Alright, well here it is with a coat of silver shot on it. This is what I would consider the base coat. I ain't got the clear coat on it yet. So that's kind of how it looks. Really, really bright. As you can see, that doesn't even match. So when I put the clear coat, it dulls it down. It'll make it match. So I'm going to put the clear coat on it now. And we'll see how that looks. And while I was at it, I went on ahead and painted these frames black. Here they are. Both of them. So I just painted everything. I didn't worry about the fact that that was blued. I just painted it black. You don't really see that stuff anyway. I think they look pretty good like that. I also masked off the item numbers that were on the frame. Preserved those since they are original. I'm going to go ahead and clear coat these. Also got the tops silvered. So I'll get those clear coated as well. There it is with 2 coats of clear. It didn't really turn out as good as the last one did. It still looks pretty good, but it's splotchy now. I don't know how well the camera's picking it up. It's kind of splotchy. It's not dry 100% yet. So it might even out a little more. But I got those done. I got the tops of the tank cars done too. I'll have to hit them one more time with the decals. And hopefully it won't do that thing again. Hopefully. I'm probably going to put one more coat of clear. Maybe Saturday. And then put the decals on. And probably going to have to wait a week to clear coat it. So we'll see how it goes. Alright, so fix to start putting the decals on. I went on ahead and done one of them. Come out pretty good. Got me a little bowl of water. And I did go ahead and put the frames together. All I did was just polish the trucks a little bit and oil them. So all that's done. I did also clean the ladders. I actually dropped these in apple cider vinegar for about 3 days just to get the rust off, and then I re-blued them. They come out pretty good. So all that stuff should be ready to go back together once we get this done. I did put another coat of clear on these. It didn't really help this one. As you can see, it's still kind of splotchy, silvery. It doesn't look bad on camera, but in person you can see it. The other one looks a lot better though. So, first thing I'm going to do is get my decals ready. Okay. Oh, these have already been cut. Okay. I didn't cut those, they were already cut. They were usually like this, put together. The main thing here is get as much of that off as you can. You want to make these as small as possible. I cut mine right to the ink. I mean, I cut it right to the E right there, and the 5 and the S. I cut it right up at it. I don't want anything other than the decal itself. I mean, I left a little bit of an edge, but basically you just want to cut these down. And on these, I kind of did like the factory. I trim around this. Trim it to the shape. You don't want to get it too much though, it'll curl up on you. I kind of had that and curl up on me a while ago, so I'm probably going to leave this one just a little fat right on the edges. But these are a lot bigger than the original ones. The original ones were a lot smaller, as you can see. Here's the original one. Well, you can't even see that. Here's an original. As you can see, it's a lot smaller. The original one is. And also, it's a different color. But, you know, these were inkjet printed, I'm sure. So, what can you expect? But I'm going to go ahead and get these cut out and ready to go on our tank. I just wanted to show how they look like they are. So, I'll get these cut out, and then I'm going to show you how to put them on. Alright, and after a little trimming, that's what we end up with. Alright, so we're fixing to put our decals in our water. And I'm just going to show this really fast how long it takes. So you put it in there. As soon as you put it in there, it curls up. And we're going to let that sit. Now it's going to go from curling up to uncurling up. Alright, and there it goes. It's starting to uncurl. Alright. I did take pictures of these because the one that I got these decals are for, the one that the decals are actually for, oops, is a little bit different than what these were. So I'm just going to slide it off with the backing paper. Just like that. And if you get it a little crooked, it ain't a big deal, because while it's wet, it still can move. Just like that. And that's about where it needs to go. Try to get it as straight as I can. Okay. Now, while that's on there, this is a damp paper towel. We're just going to take it. I'm going to hold it with one finger and pull away. And what that's doing is it's just mashing that water out and making that sticky stuff seal. Okay. Now we'll switch it to the other side. Wipe it off, pretty much. Wipe it off, I'm putting just a little bit of pressure, not much, because it could still grab and wad this decal up, and if it does it now, it's over. Now these are probably some of the best water slides I have used in a while. I used to hate water slide decals. I don't mind these. These are actually pretty easy to put on. And boom, just like that, we have a decal. Now I can kind of see I got it crooked because I was looking through the camera, but it ain't a big deal. These were not put on straight from the factory. Okay, now we're just going to go ahead and do the Sunco side, and then we'll show you the finished result. Okay, so it's starting to uncurl. I'm going to go ahead and grab it out of the water. Okay. Now remember, the gallons capacity goes above these. Same way, just slide it off. Okay. And then try to... I think the bottom curled up on me a little. I'll try to fix that in a minute, but I got to get this top situated. That looks about right there. Hold it and do the same thing again. We're just patting it down. Try to get that sticky stuff to here. Now these have been kind of fighting me. They didn't give me this much trouble on the first one I did. But for some reason these are fighting me. They want to curl up. You can see down here it kind of done something weird. I don't know if I'm going to get that out or not. It's kind of messed it up. It's just going to be that way. I can't get that out. It folded up under there whenever I wasn't paying attention. You can do something 1,000 times. As soon as you turn the camera on, it'll mess up. That's a fact. Yeah, I don't know how well you can see it. It's kind of blurry. Okay, well, I can't get it to work. But it did fold that corner under there. It messed it up, but it's not a big deal. When I clear coat over that, it'll probably hide it. Still not stuck down good though. Like I said, these have been kind of giving me trouble. I might be just leaving them in water too long. I don't know. But I only got one more to do. So, of these anyway. Alright. I think y'all get the idea of it. I'm going to go ahead, stop filming, do the other side, and we'll come back probably when we put the clear coat on. Alright, so Went on ahead and put another coat of clear coat on these. Got the decals locked in. It didn't do like it did on that other one. So that idea of putting a coat on and then letting it set a week and then putting another coat on really did the trick. It does not look bad at all. I kind of messed the other one up. I went ahead and put it together. It kind of wrinkled these decals up on this one. I put it on a little too heavy, but on this one I put it on a little bit lighter. It didn't come out as nice. The finish is kind of rough. It's kind of, you know, dry spotted a little bit on me, but it does look a whole heck of a lot better than the other one did. So I think it come out pretty good. This one, the one I just showed right over here, the paint on it just didn't come out as good as the first one or as this one. And I think it's just because my can that I used, the nozzle had some issues. So I believe that's what the problem was. It kind of come out spitty instead of smooth. But we're going to go ahead and put this thing together now. I went on ahead and cleaned these up. I just used a piece of this Scotch-Brite here. Just run it over it, you know, folded it, and went back and forth like that just to get any maybe cigarette smoke or residue or rust or anything that was stuck to these that made them turn kind of a yellow color. I did not clean up my keepers though, because I really don't know how to clean them up and make them look good. So they're going to be a little rusty, but that's not a big deal to me. The only real way to make them not be is replace them, and I don't really see the sense in that. I'm just going to put one of these on camera. I'll put the other one on off camera because it is kind of a challenge to get it right. But basically the way I do them, put me one on, and I leave them bent like this because that's going to help you hold it in. You just push it shut with your thumbs or fingers. So I'll get right here. Try to watch your paint get started. Get it in there a little bit. And take your rod, flip it over, and get it started in its hole. And then just drop it in place. You can see that. Just pop back out, but like I said, it is a finicky thing to get right, especially when I'm filming. There we go. Okay. I got it in there now. Okay. But you can see, put it back in the hole. Alright, so now I'm going to start on another one. And this one, don't push this one in all the way. You're going to kind of leave it sticking out. Okay, like that. That one's not bent like the rest of them. So it's sort of loose. Okay, that's what I meant, like that. Last one. Okay. You want to line it up in that little hole. It's kind of a challenge sometimes. There we go. Okay. Pop it all in. So there's one side installed. All you got to do now is go on the inside. You can't really see it good on camera. Go in here and just spread your things back and forth to lock them in. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. I'm going to get them spread and we'll start putting this whole thing together. Alright, so finally got those things on. Got them crimped over on the inside. You can't really see it in there. That's the reason I really didn't show it, because you wouldn't be able to see it anyway. I think it come out looking pretty good. Now when you're putting these back together, I found that these two little bump outs right here work best if they go on this side. Not on that side, but on this side. Just want to line it up. It'll kind of drop in place like that. See, it's kind of on there now. Alright. And this is the part that will kind of scare you or confuse you. When you go to put this thing back together, you put this piece on here, and you put that long screw back up through the bottom of it. Don't put these on yet. Wait till you get it a little tight, and then snap them up inside of here. If you put them on when it's all loose, you're going to have a time trying to hold those and that and the screw. And to be honest with you, you have to crank down on this thing quite a bit before those get tight. So flip it over. Here's your long screw. Goes right through a hole here in the bottom of the frame and into that cap like that. Like I said, I'm just going to give it a little bit till it's tight or snug, but everything is still loose, as you can see. When I first did one of these, I didn't do that, and these kept falling out on me, and I couldn't figure out why it was doing that until I realized you just have to tighten this thing down, because it's a tube, but it can flex. So as you can see, I can just kind of set that in place, just like that. And you know, these aren't tight; they're just loose. They're kind of just sitting there. I did re-blue these. I just took them and soaked them in vinegar for a couple days and then cleaned them off and heated them with the propane torch until they were kind of cherry red, and then dropped them in cooking oil. And that puts a nice blue finish back on them. So you want to go till you can't wiggle these. So I can still wiggle that one, so I need to go a little bit more. Okay, that's tight, and that's tight. Alright, that's good. So here it is. Finished tank cars. I think that one probably come out better than this one. But the funny thing is, this one doesn't show up on camera, the problem. You can kind of see it. You can kind of see how it's kind of splotchy right here. But they both come out pretty good, I think. So, I did forget to mention this last video about the show I went to. I wasn't able to find any of the parts that I was hunting. And I also kind of forgot about some of the parts I was hunting. So, that's just how it goes sometimes. I will see you guys on the next video. And I hope everything goes good for you. Bye-bye.